Hello, everyone, and welcome back. The big day is here. I'm unveiling the version of Frostygon for Update 30 Blackwood. Oh my gosh, I couldn't wait to show everybody this build. Oh my gosh. I've had wonderful input from a lot of great people, and this was something that we started out a journey with earlier in the year with could we make a Frost Mage build? There's some great items to make Frost, a Frost damage build. And I was very excited to do it. And then with the announcement of the new set that just came out this past week called Frostbite, where you do more damage with your Frost abilities, oh my goodness. I was just ecstatic. And everybody keeps asking, what's your build? What are you using? What are you doing? All right. So this is it. This is my Frostygon. All right. Playing the words of Magicka or a Frost Mage. Frostygon. And it's what we affectionately call a dad build. All right. And what a dad build is can you get easy access to the gear? All right. Is it a lot of fun to play? And does it do meaningful damage? Can you actually, do that? And I am very happy to say it's yes, yes, and yes. It's so good. It's so much fun. It's for me with my my main is my Mag Blade, which I love, but it's kind of a breath of fresh air and just a ton of fun to play. And but I've taken this build into PvP. I've taken it into a trial. I have done veteran hard mode dungeons with it. It's amazing. Now, am I going to score? No. Am I going to have the because it's a kind of an AOE type build? Am I going to be doing the most single target? No, you're not going to get all that with this. But oh my gosh, as a general purpose usage build, it's amazing. We thought it was good prior to this update. With this new update and Frostbite, oh my gosh, it's absolutely amazing and so much fun to play. It's a Warden character because they utilize Frost's abilities very well. Let's just jump right in. Hold on, let's jump right into the gear. All right, and plus he just looks cool. He looks awesome. All right. Here's the gear. Monster set, of course, Iceheart. Best monster set out there for the gear. Could I split the thing to get like more crit or something else or put something? Yeah, but remember, it's a dad build. And getting Iceheart is the hardest part of this entire build. All right, and that's not that hard. It's for veteran dungeons, it's an easy dungeon to get the helm. Usually it's a fun one that people like to run, and it's such a powerful monster set still. Gives you a shield, gives you a AoE damage. So the hardest part is you're going in there and getting that, and then getting the keys, the Andante keys, by running pledges, and getting lucky with the shoulders. You want both light. All of my armor is light. So you want that. And for people that might not know Iceheart, let me go through them. Let me go through what it is. So Iceheart, the first item, gives you spell crit. Second thing is when you deal crit damage, you have a 20% chance to gain a damage shield that absorbs 5,000 damage for 6 seconds. That's a lot. That's great if you're going to do like an arena, or you keep on dying to something, you just need a little bit of extra shielding. Boom, this is perfect. And while the damage shield holds, you deal 1287 frost damage to all enemies within 5 meters of you every 1 second. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds. And the damage scales off of your higher of your weapon or spell damage. So it's really amazing to get that. So that is going to be your thing. I do have it in Divines and with the Magicka enchant. Divines does your mundus stone effect more, and I use the let me show you. I use the thief. to help out with our crit in there. And we'll talk more about that, but back to the gear. All right. The other stuff that I have is Winter's Respite. I use that for the jewelry and actually both staffs. Both staffs are frost staffs with a frost enchant, both in precise to help out with the crit. Yep. I don't mess around. I don't do like a I don't do what was I going to say? Maelstrom, like a frost staff or maelstrom or anything like that. Nope, just real easy. All right. Winter's Respite is an overland set. So both of the sets now, Winter's Respite and Frostbite, are overland sets. That's why I say the Ice Heart helm is the hardest thing you got to do. All right? That's the hardest thing you've got to do because the rest of it, you can find overland in Blackwood or just buy it from a trader. So really very easy to acquire. You don't have to do like lots of trials to get it or high level vet dungeons or anything like that. Very easy to get. All right? Now, Winter's Respite, you might be saying, hey, Maddie, Winter's Respite's a healing thing. Yeah. But look what else it does. It gives you 129 to Magicka Recovery. It gives you the third and fourth items on here. Both give you maximum Magicka. You're going to see how high my Magicka is when I show you my stats in a little bit. All right? And then, casting abilities that leave an effect on the ground will create a circle of healing for 10 seconds. You and your group members restore health every 2 seconds inside the circle. This effect can occur every 10 seconds and scales higher with max Magicka or stamina. It's so good. All right, let me just show you a little thing. I can actually do this inside a house. Check this out. If I do this, and one of my spammables, I'll explain this later too, is Unstable Wall. Look what happens when I cast it. Boom. One skill. I do damage. I've got an AoE of healing, and I've got a shield from projectiles. Oh, that's like coming attractions right there. Yeah, having that Winter's Respite is huge. All right, let's keep going. I'm getting so excited. I'm just like I want to tell you everything at once. All right. So Winter's Respite is really good. Having that little bit of heal to start. Oh my gosh, I go toe to toe with world bosses and they can't do anything to me. Seriously, I go toe to toe with world bosses. I don't even bother to get out of if they got any AoEs or conal attacks. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. With the shielding of Ice Hearts and the healing of Winter's Respite, oh, love it. You can't see it. I'm throwing my hands in the air. I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. All right. Then the big gun to come along. Look at this. Winter's Respite. Wait. Frostbite. Frostbite is the new one that came out. You do spell damage. You do spell crit. You do some more spell damage. And then the 5 item increases your damage done with frost abilities by 8%. Oh, that in itself is good. Keep reading. Increases your damage done against chilled enemies by 4%. 4 plus 8 equals 12%. Okay. Increases your damage done against enemies affected with minor brittle by 2%, which we do as well. So that's 2 plus 4 plus 8 carry to 5 divided by the numbers, formulas going on and everything like that. That's 14% more damage with a set. That's absolutely amazing. Please don't nerf. That's absolutely... Actually, they increased it at one point during the PTS. So it went from like 6% to 8%. I'm like, ooh, it got even better. Don't tell anybody. Yeah. Amazing. So you got all of this damage going out. So good. And again, it's an overland set. Anybody can get it. Now on the traders right now, because we're talking during the time where it's the first week in there, people are selling it high, because it's a new set. But you'll find it, or you'll have friends that find it that'll give it to you, or in a guild or guildies or something. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. You'll definitely get it. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So like I said, you can get this very easily. You can get Winter's Respite very easily out of Greymoor. And it's getting Ice Heart, which is not a hard veteran dungeon. And then doing pledges to get enough Andante keys to be able to get that. All light armor. On the rings, it's spell damage and arcane. On all of them, spell damage and arcane. Frost damage with precise. Frost damage with precise. Yeah. They're the exact same staffs. So you can go to your sets and make another one. Yeah. Oh, amazing. All right. I got food on. Okay, I've got food on. Let's check out the stats. 64 in the Magicka. Look at that maximum Magicka. Look at that maximum Magicka. 37. 37. Look at that health. 24. Good stamina, actually. Look at the Magicka recovery. 1247. That's not with a pot on. That's with my regular. That's just with blue food. The Solitude 7-millet soup. Yeah, that's not anything expensive. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. And look at my spell crit. Not bad. 53%. That'll make most things proc. Yeah. How's my back bar? I think my back bar is my back bar a little less? No, my back bar is the same. Oh, well, that makes sense because I get the same staff. Duh. Yeah, look at that. 53%. I'm over the hump. Yeah. Look at that. And look at my spell damage. Look at my spell damage. If you watched my Mag Blade video that I just put out this past week, it's got a starting spell damage that's higher than my Mag Blade. Yeah. Let that... Here, I'm going to have a sip of water. Let that sink in. Yeah. My resting without any pots or anything on my Mag Blade is like 28 something. This is 3115. All right, let's go down here. I'm using the Thief Mundus Stone, all right, to help with that spell crit. Oh, like a little minor berserk in there. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. All right. Let's look at the skills. What skills am I using? Front bar, we start off with Deep Fissure. Okay, let me talk about this. I have issues with Deep Fissure that go all the way back to when it first came out. I don't like something that I cast and I gotta wait 3 seconds for it to go off. Didn't like it at all. Didn't like it at all. Until now. I love this because this is the thing I start with. I start with Deep Fissure. If you don't know what Deep Fissure is, stir a group of shock that attack after 3 seconds. Deals a lot of damage. That's why you need it. 14-2-4-4. Magic damage to enemies in front of you. Enemies' damage are afflicted with Major Breach. That's also a big thing. Reduces the physical and spell resistance by 59-48 for 6 seconds. I hated it. I hated it in a rotation. It was too much for me. But as something that I'm running around, and oh, there's enemies up there. Let me just cast it. Get ready for it. And then, boom, there it goes. Ooh, it's like in my fireplace. Yeah, it goes off, and then I start my rotation of things. I love its usage in this way. If you're like me, and you didn't like it before, give this a try. Because I love it now. Never used to like it before. Couldn't aim it. Couldn't do whatever. Oh my gosh. I had such a problem with it. and it actually kept me from doing a damage Warden for a long time. I actually this used to be my healer. I was a healer main for a while before I started getting to doing DPS stuff. So, all right, the second skill you already kind of know. All right, this is unstable wall of frost. Creates an icy barrier, dealing 1471 frost damage to enemies in the area every 1 second. Sorry, my phone went off. I gotta make sure that shut off. Every 1 second, and applying unstable frost shield for 6 seconds on you and nearby allies. It absorbs 602 damage from projectiles. Chilled enemies become immobilized for 4 seconds. When the effect ends, the barrier explodes, dealing mark that it explodes, dealing 8368 frost damage, and applying unstable frost shield for 6 seconds to you and your nearby enemies. It absorbs up to 3196 damage from projectiles. All right. This is the most beautiful proc set. Because like I said, one skill is going to give me a damage AoE. Because of Winter's Respite, it's going to give me an AoE heal. It's also then going to give me a projectile shield. And usually I crit, and so usually Ice Heart goes off. Now I don't have an enemy here because I'm in my crafting house, the new Leowin house. But man, you do this, boom, look at all that goes off. I'm so glad I have a new computer because this would have froze up my old computer. Look at all of this stuff that goes off. Yeah. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you're going to notice that this is in my number 2 spot on my bar. My number 2 is always my spammable. Let me say that again. My number 2 spot on my front bar is always my spammable. Yeah. Yeah. I spam unstable wall. Boom. 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 And I weave in light attacks in between. Yeah. That is where the damage happens. So it's huge AoE damage. So I have my first one with the shock ready to go, and then I start going to town. The shocks are in there. Boom, and I go to town, and I would be light weaving, in and out of that. You might be thinking, oh my gosh, isn't that resource heavy? Yeah. But guess what? We're going to talk about this in a little bit. When you go into your the fitness CP, look at what we get here. There's something called siphoning spells. Restore Magicka whenever you kill an enemy. I get 1,500 Magicka back for every enemy I killed. This build is a mob killer. It is a mob destroyer. You want to go into a public dungeon on your own and just melt everything in sight? This is it. You want more. I love it when I'm attacking like a world boss or a dungeon boss or something where they spawn enemies. I'm like, thank you. Because one-on-one, I got to watch my resources. But if they spawn enemies and I get to kill those quickly, boom, 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 my magic is all the way back up. I love it. I love that. All right, so we'll talk more about the CP in a second. All right. What's my next one that I use? I use Winter's Revenge. Great dot to put down on the ground. Target location. Skewer enemies in the area. 2787 frost damage every second. Enemies hit or overcome with bitter cold, reducing their movement by 30%. This ability has a chance to apply the chilled status effect, and it also applies brittle, I believe, as well. I get mixed up with brittle, which ones do and which ones don't. So yeah, so my opening is usually get that going, throw down that, and then just go to town on people. And they just melt. They absolutely just melt. Then, this is in essence I don't want to say a 1-bar build, but it could be a 1-bar build. But I like, I don't like to limit myself that much, so I put things on other sides. So since it's really a shortened build, those 3 are really the skills that I use for damage. The other things that I have on here is to do other stuff. I have Bird of Prey, great one for getting around really quickly. But while it's slotted, you gain Minor Berserk, increasing your damage by 5%. Hey, I'll take that. I also put in Inner Light, which we've talked about before. When slotted, your max Magicka is increased by 5%, and your Major Prophecy, increasing your spell crit rating, goes up by 26-29. Yeah. And then, yes, again, some of these things won't make sense to you. But yes, I've got Dawnbreaker on the front. You know why I've got Dawnbreaker on the front? It's for this. This. With a fighter skill ability slotted, you generate 3 ultimate whenever you kill an enemy. Yeah. So every time I do those mobs, all right, I'm getting back my ulti quicker. Which, maybe I'll talk about it first. I switched to my back bar. The ulti that I use is Ice Comet. Call down a comet from the constellation to blast an enemy, dealing 2853 frost damage to all enemies in the area, knocking them down, stunning them, kicking them, dragging them, boom, boom, for 2 seconds. I'm getting excited. And reducing their movement speed by 50% for 5 seconds. After the impact, the enemies in the target area take, can't read that. 5955 frost damage every 1 second for 13 seconds. Oh my gosh, like I said, it's great with a boss that has like ads in the middle of it. It's so good. All right, just amazing. So yeah, so I use that Dawnbreaker to get that ulti as quickly as I can. Yeah, and it's nice. It's a 200 ulti, so it's a little cheaper than other ultis, which could be like 250. All right. Now, you can do a variety of different things. There's a lot of options you can do on the back bar. I actually just started to put in Structured Entropy. You can see it's only rank 1. All right, I've started to put that in because of my Magblade build. I really like that one. All right, gives myself a little bit of dot damage if I need some more dot damage on something in a longer fight, and it's also going to heal me. Love that. Again, another healing in there with Arctic Blast in there, so it heals me up and it damages enemies if they're too close. And then a shield, Ice Fortress is so great, and you can give that to people within your party. They like that. You gain minor protection, reducing damage, take it by 5%. And then Blue Betty. You gotta love Blue Betty in here, which stores 4992 Magicka over 25 seconds and grants you Major Brutality or Major Sorcery, which we always like. Increasing your weapon and spell damage by 20%. I make sure to have this up all the time. So that's my prep. Every 5 seconds, the net removes a negative effect. That's good too. And then we're back with my Inner Light. Yeah. So these are optional. These are whatever you need it to be in there. But like I said, good ones. The real big ones that I really need is the Blue Betty and the Ice Comet for the ultimate. So I will go into a fight. I will prep. Maybe prep my party. Prep the Betty. Switch. Get the shock ready. Oops. Actually, I did that backwards. Get the get Winter's Revenge going, and then start spamming Unstable Wall. And then whenever Deep Fissure is down, I'll put it back up. But sometimes I don't need it that often because I'll just spam it Unstable Wall and see how fast they burn down. Here. Or how fast they melt, I should say. Yeah. Let's see. Anything that I need here? I've got all the passives for that. All the passives. Actually, I don't use anything in here anymore, but I just have them from the old build, so you don't need that. But all the Frost ones, Winter's Embrace stuff, do it. Destruction. Do all the destruction stuff. Armor, because everything's light. Make sure you have all your light stuff. Fighters Guild. Have that up for the Dawnbreaker and the Banish the Wicked. I also have stuff in the Bounty Hunter for the quests in Cyrodiil. Mages Guild, of course, for our Inner Light and our Entropy. I've got all of these. Nothing for Citric for this guy. I got stuff for Undaunted, but you don't have to have it in there. That's from old. Alliance stuff, nothing in there. Racial, I love being a Khajiit. I love it. Oh my gosh, a little bit of everything. Increases health recovery, stamina, Magicka recovery. Increases maximum health, Magicka, and stamina by 9 to 15. That's pretty good. And then increases your crit damage and crit healing. So again, I do a fair amount of crit, and so that helps with, the damage, and also with Winter's Revenge, Winter's Respite, proccing. So really great. Love it. All right. Then let's look at the CP. All right. CP is actually pretty straightforward. I've got like a whole lot of extra stuff that I don't even know what to put in because I'm kind of maxed out. Like we always say, 3,600 is the end cap where you can't get any more. But to do this one, I think you only need about 1,300. Might be lower. Yeah. So with the changes, I start here in Precision to get the crit going. I get Fighting Finesse for crit damage, crit heal, 10%. Then it moves over to the purple. I get all the piercing, the increased chance to apply the magic status, and grants 100 spell damage from my frost. That then opens up these. I don't have the Deadly Aim. I use Thaumaturge. I use the AoE Biting Aura. So Thaumaturge is the dot by 10%. The AoE. And then I use Master at Arms for 10% done. So it's Fighting Fitness, Thaumaturge, Biting Aura, Master Arms. And I've got the extra here compared to my Mag Blade because I don't have anything that I really need to swap out. These are the ones I'm going to be using all the time. So the other points go into like this purple over here, which just gives me 2% more to my healing, which is nice. I got 520 Magicka, that's a passive. I've got 520 stamina as a passive. And then I have all the protections. So 2% for your healing, resist to martial effects from just regular damage reduction, and then reduce from magical attacks. Yeah. And then for these, I take kind of the standard. I do, the top three here, which is more health, more armor, more rejuvenation. I put all points into all the passives. And this one, I make sure that I've got Spirit Mastery if I'm in a group to res people faster. But then the big one for, like I pointed out earlier, is having siphoning spells. So whenever I kill an enemy, I get that Magicka back. I think I was in a trial, and so I made sure to have that one back. So let's remove that one. Let's put that one back in. Boom, 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 and that. So also remember, even when you're swapping out things here, make sure to click confirm or it doesn't take. A lot of times people are like, I don't notice any difference between this and between that. Well, probably didn't go in and confirm it. And then lastly, the crafting, which the only thing that really kind of applies too much is the rationer. Adds 10 minutes of duration to any food. I like that one the most. The rest are just kind of, you can put whatever you want into. A lot of gathering stuff. I always like for the one that I'll swap out is Steed's Blessing if I want to make sure I'm going faster if I'm in an arena or if I got a group that's really moving in a dungeon or a trial. So I'll swap that out for something. But that's pretty much it for the CP. Alrighty. Okay, I think that finishes up that. We talked about the gear. We talked about, yeah, Frostbite, Ice Heart, Winter's Respite. We talked about all the stats. We talked about the mundus. We talked about that. We went into our skills. We talked about all those things and what I use. Yep. You know, I don't have anything that swaps differently. I don't really parse on this guy because, like I said, it's not a individual, a single target type thing. It does really good against groups. And we just talked about the CP. I think that's it. Oh my gosh, everybody. I love this. He's so much fun. I love the name. Oh, and if you want to get a good achievement, it's actually kind of difficult to do. All right, for a title, if you get the no death speed run hard mode, and actually you don't have to do it all at the same time. You can do it, one by one. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting what that the veteran dungeon is. I always say that it is oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting this there. But you get the Frozen Treasure Seeker. Frozen Treasure Seeker is actually going to make me look it up. Here, I can actually show you where this is. So if I go Frozen, no, I can't do it like that. It's Ice Heart's older brother. Dungeon Finder. I always forget specific dungeon. It is not Death of the Frost Vault. That's what it is. I'm trying to think. It's Frost something or other. Frost that. It's Frost Vault. If you go in there to the Frost Vault and go in, you're going to get. You do all three of those, you get the title. And I'm like, this is absolutely perfect of a title for a Frost Mage. Frozen Treasure Seeker. I love it. I love it. Luckily, I had some wonderful friends to go with, and we were able to knock it out. So, yeah. Excellent. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed putting it together. I've been waiting for this to come out. So many people have been waiting for this video to come out because they see how much fun I have on it, And if you want to check me out on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Matagon, come check me out. When I'm playing this guy, he has so much fun. So, and like I said, I have done PvP content, PvE content, arenas, group arenas, single arena stuff. I have done trials with it, normal trials. I did a couple of the easier vet trials in there. There's nothing with this that you can't do. And one of the big things I always try to show people is that you don't have to have a meta build to have meta fun. You don't have to have the most elite gear and do the most elite damage to have a lot of fun. We always put our mindset in the meta of score pushing and end game, the really top percentage of 1% of people for when we make builds. And a lot of times, even those builds are situational. They'll swap out builds depending on what things are there. So this is a good general all-around build that you can have a lot of fun with and go into any situation with, And if people laugh at you and say that this is not a good build, you have them come see me. Because I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's going to put a smile on your face. You're going to be able to do a lot of content. You can take out world bosses. You'll feel strong. You'll take out mobs. It's got just the right amount of healing, just the right amount of dots and AoEs and a little bit of single target. And you're just going to feel great about yourself going in and doing that, and you just have a lot of fun. So for people that are either struggling or they get in their head too much about having meta end game builds and they get depressed that they can't get the armor that they need, because to get the armor to do the trial, you got to go into the trial to get the armor, which sometimes just doesn't make sense. This, real easy to get, overland stuff with one dungeon to get that's not that hard, and some Andante keys to unlock the shoulders. And you've got it. And it's so much fun. So, all right, now I'm rambling because I just love it so much. Everything. Comment down below what you think of the build, and let me know if you make it. Let me know if you make the build and if you're having fun with it. I'd really be excited to hear. So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for letting me share this with you. I love doing these YouTube videos, and this one was a long time in waiting. So thank you for your patience on it, and I hope it's one of those that will last for a while, because it's a lot of fun. So. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.